Steve?
Yeah, a little bit. It's one of those games you just kind of going back and forth, toe to toe, and you're just hoping to put up a zero and put the game away, and it just kept coming back. But our offense kept responding, so it wasn't the prettiest pitched game on either side. But I'm proud of our guys continuing to battle and answer the bell every time they scored. We came back and put up a number as well. So just the way we responded tonight was, very proud of our guys for continuing to battle. So ultimately come out on top. It's a big win to start off the series. It's better to win ugly than lose pretty. So we'll take that one for sure.
I'm curious, Coach, at this point in the season, you guys have played many games. You've seen the offense fluctuate from time to time, but right now it's really hot. I'm wondering what is like an indicator that you see as far as when the offense is like down versus when it's hot?
Getting pitches in the zone, not chasing out of the zone. For me, that's the biggest thing. When we're recognizing breaking balls down and out of the zone and laying off those and not trying to do too much, and staying with our approach up the middle, it usually results in good at bats and passing it to the next guy and good team offense versus solo home runs and getting lucky and running into one here and there. So putting up a lot of crooked numbers, which is good, where everyone's involved. It's not one guy; it's several guys that are contributing, and to me, that's a good team offense when you have multiple guys up and down the lineup contributing. So it's been that way for a little while. Hopefully, we can continue to do that.
The Trojans put up a 3-spot top of the second. There was some action going on in the bullpen, but just small stuff. Then you stuck with Meyer for the remaining 4 innings, got all the way into the 6th. What was kind of the thought process after it gives up 3 quick runs, then another run in the 3rd? What was the thought process letting him go as long as he did? What did you see in him after that kept him in the game?
He just continued to battle. If he got in any big trouble after that 2nd inning, we were kind of, we didn't want him to get in trouble again. But he managed to navigate pretty well there for a couple innings and get out of there relatively unscathed in the 4th and 5th. Only gave up the 1 run in the 3rd. So we obviously wanted to try and get him at least to the 5th, and you can see why. Like we wanted to try and conserve and use our bullets when we had to, and the only way we can do that is if we get some length from our starters. Last weekend we didn't get any length from our starters, and one from an ejection, one from Tyler couldn't pitch last weekend. But we can't tax our bullpen that heavily every weekend and expect them to be sharp. So in large part, I think that's why Levine wasn't as sharp. Blake maybe not has been as sharp. Brock maybe not has been as sharp, because those guys have been taxed quite a bit the past couple weeks because we haven't had a whole lot of length from the starters. So hopefully we can get back on that track, where Kyle can give us a good start tomorrow and hopefully give us some length, and we can give those guys a little breather so they can be sharper down the stretch.
In terms of scoring, some of the back and forth action, what stood out to you as sort of like the turning point?
I'm sorry, what was that?
In terms of scoring with so much back and forth, what stood out as like the turning point for you guys tonight?
I think just the way the guys continued to battle, even though I think when they tied it up there in the top of the 6th, Ethan coming up big with the big home run there, 3-run homer to punch him right back, and continuing to not give up the momentum in full to keep things rolling on our side. And again, it was back and forth slugfest. So normally you see this type of game on Sunday, but we had it on Friday. So these are 2 programs that go at each other pretty good, at least historically over the years, and why would it be any different tonight? So I don't anticipate the rest of the series being any different.
Cam McGee got his 4th straight start at 3rd base tonight, and he got another hit, as he's done in the past few games as well. But it's a little bit harder to gauge, from the stat sheet at least, his defensive production. What have you seen from him there as a youngster managing the hot corner?
He's done a good job. Gives us some athleticism over there, a little bit more range. Whether or not he plays there every day, obviously we'll determine that on a day-to-day basis on, what lineup we feel is the best to run out there every day. But he's certainly given us a shot in the arm defensively and given us a little bit more range there at times. I think Ethan's done just fine there, but Cam does offer a little bit more range, a little bit more lateral range and athleticism. So he's done great. That ball that in the ninth there that he makes the diving play, even though he doesn't get the guy out at third, that ball gets through. That could be an extra base for the hitter. Maybe gets to second. On that, he's doing a really good job on quietly making some big plays over there. So it's been great to see, and him, more importantly, just been great for him to be part of it and contribute. So it's been great.
How much of a lift did the defensive work of Will Rogers give this team for what he was able to really do and left really all throughout the game?
Not bad for a backup catcher, right? So he's, I can't say enough about Will and how much I like that kid. He just keeps his mouth shut, continues to work. He understands he has some things to adjust from the offensive standpoint. But when you're a catcher and you go out there and just learn outfield for the first time, the job he's done out there and the plays he's made are it's pretty impressive, really. The arm strength that he has, and that guy saw that guy round second go to third. I just started laughing. I said, "Watch this one," and threw him out by 10 feet. It wasn't close. So I don't think a lot of people know what kind of arm strength that kid has out there. And then. I don't know if he robbed a home run or was very close, made a great play out there and made another good play in the gap. So, his defense really was phenomenal tonight and really saved us a couple runs, I think, defensively. And then offensively, big contributor tonight as well. And he was really excited. He hit a breaking ball tonight. So, it was good to see. Big smile on his face, trying to get Travis's attention. I hit a breaking ball. Yeah, we know. It's amazing when you let it get up in the zone how much easier it is to hit. So, but he's making some adjustments and yeah, he's been great.
I'm not sure if this was asked, but was Meyer on any pitch restrictions there at all? Just coming back.
We kind of figured we wanted him somewhere around that 80, 85 top mark. We could see him kind of starting. He wasn't as sharp really as he has been all year, and we knew that he hadn't pitched in 2.5, 3 weeks, so he was probably going to be a little bit rusty. Once he got some hitters in there, but just was happy the way he battled and gave us at least a little bit of length. But yeah, we did have him on about 80, 85 pitch count. That we didn't want him to go much more than that, being the first time out in about 2-3 weeks. So we ended up pretty close to that 79, I think, if these numbers are right. So it was about right. You can tell he was starting to get a little bit tired, I think, and the breaking ball wasn't as sharp, and changeup didn't have the same location that he normally does. So it was about time for him to turn it over to someone else and get ready for his next start.
You put Lozano on first there, and I think it was the 8th inning. Is that something you're anticipating doing again the next couple of days? What's the plan for him?
Well, you can see why I did.
I agree.
Dude's locked in, 3 homers tonight. Yeah, he's locked in. So obviously, if the situation dictates for us to do that, we can't let their hottest hitter right now beat us. I wasn't about to let him swing right there if we had any chance to not let him swing, and next time up he let him swing and he hit another one in the seat. So we're out in the desert. So he's locked in. We'll take that into consideration. Obviously we're gonna have to pitch him differently tomorrow, make some adjustments with him, and hopefully we'll be able to find a hole or two in that swing and get him out tomorrow.
Coach, I don't know if this is an inside joke between the guys or not, but the celebration, the RBI celebration at second, you know what that comes from at all, or?
There's a lot of things in there that I don't know where. I just try to monitor. Kids got to have fun. I get that. I try not to be too much of a wet blanket on all that stuff, but as long as it's done in a respectful fashion that's not degrading toward anybody else, you know, I don't mind, they have a little fun every now and again, but just as long as it doesn't get carried away. You know, for me, I'm not a big rub it in the opponent's face type guy. That's not what I stand for, not what we stand for, but I am for picking up your teammates, and if your teammates want to celebrate together, hey, I'm all for it. Keeping each other excited, that's fine, as long as it's nothing that is degrading or detrimental, I'm all for it.
You mentioned the long history between these two programs. For you personally, is it always good to beat these guys? I mean, I know they're not Arizona, but obviously you've
Pretty
had
close.
a storied history.
Pretty
with
close.
these guys.
Yeah, it feels good to be USC. You know, for me, it's yeah, they're right up there with for me. You know, I don't have to say why. Everybody knows. But yeah, these whenever we tee it up against SC, there's a little bit extra adrenaline, and you know, for me as a coach now, it still gives me kind of some deeper feelings, I guess, when we play against USC, and it's always been that way. In football, whenever I go support our football team, or anytime we play SC in any sport, I kind of get want to beat them a little bit extra.
Especially in a high-scoring game like this one.
Yeah, especially when we put up 14 runs. It's kind of last time we put up 14, we came out of losing end in a big game. So, but you know, nonetheless, it's fun to compete against them because I know that they're two programs that have historically had a lot of sparks and a lot of good intense games against each other. So, you know, this is again, I mentioned it against U of A. It's kind of what rivalries are about, and it's what makes it fun. And so, you know, anytime you tee up against them, that's what keeps us alive. That's what makes it fun. So, I'm anxious to go again tomorrow.
Coach, you guys have scored 10 or more runs in 3+ games. That streak started after you guys had a special visitor on Sunday morning. I'm just curious, what was that experience like for you? You know, getting to watch Barry talk to your team, and then what do you think the team kind of took away from that?
I think it was, you know, I especially was very appreciative. Barry took time out of his day to come and talk to our guys. You know, we want him around our program as much as possible, as much as he's willing to come around. I think it's important for, you know, for the guys that have been here and played at ASU, that especially like guys like him that have big names, that it's important for our guys to see that they still support the program and they're still around and they want our program to do well. And you know, for arguably the best hitter of all time to come and talk to our guys a little bit about hitting, I kind of got a cheap thrill out of the fact that he uses the same line that I do. He's like, I can't talk to you about pitching because I just figured out how to try to beat you guys the whole career. So I'm just going to talk about hitting. And he gave a couple of really good pointers that we as a staff try to stress. And so it's like, thank God somebody else they can let us know that we're not full of crap here, that we're not going to listen to us, fine, but you better at least listen to him. Very similar stuff that he's preaching and talking about when it comes to hitting. So for me, that was, I got a little smile out of that, and made him reiterate hitting off the fastball and making sure that they know that even the greatest power hitter of all time still hits off the fastball, doesn't hit off breaking balls. So little stuff like that was important for our guys to hear, but just more importantly for our program to have guys like that be around. And it's special. This place is very special, and we got a lot of great alums, and for them to be around and still show support for us, and these guys understand that they're still supporting them, that's what a program like Arizona State should be. And we're just happy that he decided to take time out of his day to come and talk with us and want to be involved. So,
Coach, where's Hunter Haas at in his recovery?
he's getting much better. He was out to about 120, 140 feet today, last couple days, and starting to lengthen it out a little bit, which is encouraging. He's obviously not quite there to go into a game defensively yet, but he is starting to be able to. He's made a big jump the past couple days, so I'm anxious. I know he's very anxious. I know he wants to contribute. We obviously are anxious for him to contribute and be in there, and he's a competitor. We're all anxious to get him back, and I know he's like me, he's not patient. He wants it right now, and we all want him to be back right now, but facts are we got to make sure that thing is healthy and ready to go. But it is improving. It's made a nice stride in the past week or so. So we're encouraged by that. Hopefully we get him back soon.
Given the way that Sean's played at short this year, is there a chance that we can see Hunter somewhere else, or do you expect Hunter to go back to short and Sean back to second?
I think we'll evaluate that when he feels he's ready to play. If maybe it's smarter to start him at second base where the throw isn't as long, or if he feels that he's comfortable going over to short, or maybe going to third. Like we'll kind of evaluate that. The great news is we have 2 or 3 guys that are capable of playing a very good shortstop and a very good third base and a very good second base. So it's just a matter of I think Hunter is a very selfless kid. He just wants to be on the diamond somewhere, which is great. I think you ask Sean McLean, he's the same way. Cam McGee, he's just happy to be out there. So I don't think we have any egos when it comes to who's playing where. At least I hope not. But I think at that point in time, we would just be excited to get him back on the field somewhere. And where that's going to be best for him, we'll make that decision as we get closer.
And then when Hunter does come back, you have guys who are going to have to move out of the lineup, but a lot of guys who've been playing well. Campos kind of earned his spot behind the dish. Guy's been hot at third base. Will Rogers, you mentioned, played really well today. I mean, is it nice now as kind of the manager to have, is it a good problem to have this many guys swing the bat well? At this time, you kind of have to find a place to put Hunter Haas back in the lineup.
Absolutely. I mean, it's been what we've been hoping for, and knew we were going to have guys step up, and when somebody goes down, that's a big staple in your lineup like Hunter. Somebody's got to step up, and we've had several guys that have earned playing time, and so that at least gives me flexibility and options to go to during the game on guys that I would trust to use in certain situations if needed. So, and then part of it is trying to. I spend time on the lineup now trying to figure out, okay, who's going to be the best matchup here, because I do have options. He's arguably, certain guys have earned the right to be in there because of their performance, but it's unfortunately, I think this matchup might be better, and they've earned that right too. So for me, it's trying to look at what kind of pitcher we're facing and who matches up the best against them, and I'm not always going to be right, but for me, at least it gives us options to use, which is great, and it keeps everybody involved and everybody moving forward.
Yeah, and how do the guys take that message? Because, for example, like Jacob Tobias has also been swinging bat really well, but you have a lefty pitcher. You want to deliver the message to him that he's not going to be in the 9. How do you feel like the guys kind of take that message?
Well, we're a team. This isn't a bunch of individuals. We're doing what's best to try to win baseball games, and I know that might sting egos from time to time, because look, I have told them, you guys are all, or most of you guys are all alpha males. You want to play. I get that. I understand that. I wouldn't want you here if you weren't like that. But the facts are, we as a staff try to put together the best opportunity to give us what's going to give us the best opportunity to win that particular day. Doesn't mean we don't love you. Doesn't mean we don't think you can do the job, but we think that who we're running out there gives us the best opportunity to win that particular night. So. And it might be different tomorrow than it is today. We put up 14 runs today, and the lineup might look a little bit different tomorrow. And call me crazy, but you know what? The matchups might be a little bit different tomorrow that we feel. So, that's just part of, I think, when you have good teams that understand that are playing for the guy next to them, hopefully the ego stuff goes out the window.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.